Good evening and welcome to this boys major game. Ford Field, Shelby Township. This is the 5th and 6th graders who comprise major baseball in Shelby. We'll fill you in on the lineups in a minute, but this is, my name is Rick Botcher. I'm down here doing the play-by-play, or attempting to tonight. The Cubs are on the field in the red jerseys, and the Marlins are at bat. This is the leadoff hitter, Mike Majewski. Majewski plays shortstop. Moyeski, been corrected by his brother. The umpire for tonight's game is Dan Zender. He's a sophomore at Utica High School. Big guy for a sophomore. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Majewski. 3-2. Pitching for the Cubs is Brad Leach. Call third strike. Caught the outside corner. Low and outside. Caught the corner. This is Tom Schneeman, the shortstop. So it's James Hensler, the catcher for the Marlins. Ground ball into right field. Base hit for Hensler. Fielded out there by Brian Lavernitz. First hit of the game. Hensler, the son of the Marlins coach, Pat Hensler. This is Neil Bryan, third baseman. Big hitter. Fly ball into right. It's going foul and out of play. There's no wind here today, so that won't be a factor. It's a beautiful night for a ball game. About 80 degrees. Really good sized crowd for two balls and a strike to Bryan. Neil Bryan goes to Trinity Lutheran School in Utica. There's a slow roll at short. He's got the force at second. 2 outs. Ball is hit to Schneeman, who got it over to Anthony Strawn for the force at second. So the Marlins have the runner at first, 2 away. Top of the first inning here in a very, very big game. It's near the end of the year. Boys major baseball. Pops it up to second base. So it's going to drop. It drops in front of the right fielder. And he's coming for home. It's going to... It's Dan Dzorsky with a pop fly triple. It got by the right fielder. An aggressive base running by Bryan. And the Marlins take a 1-0 lead here in the first inning. This is Dan Gorman, left-handed hitting first baseman. Goes to Monfort. He chops one to short. It should be an easy play. Schneeman throws him out. Short to first. Schneeman Schneeman to Dan Gillis. So at the end of the first half inning, 1-0 in favor of the Marlins. Cubs ready to take their cuts. Briefly, the records at this point, this is a big game for the for boys major baseball, 9 and 10-year-olds. The Marlins are, the record for the Marlins is 9, they've won 9, lost none, and tied 2. They play 6 innings. After 6 innings, it's tied, it stays that way. The Cubs have also won 9, but they've lost 2. So if for some reason the Cubs win this game tonight, it would be the way I understand, with points would be a virtual tie between both these teams, and there are only, I believe, 1 or 2 games remaining in the season. So it's a big game for these young guys. Third to second, and we start the bottom of the first inning. This is the Cubs pitcher, Brad Leach. Ball inside on Leach. Dan Chizorski's the pitcher. 1-1. Base hit into right field, right by the first baseman. Leadoff man's on board. Leach singles. This brings up Tommy Schneeman, the shortstop. No leadoffs in boys major. 2 balls, no strikes to Schneeman. He's looking them over good. Chops one down to third, gets through under the glove of the third baseman into left field. Leach reaches third base. It's a base hit. This infield looks like it's brick hard. The sun's been baking it out the last few days. And it's going to take some pretty good hops, but that one didn't. The batter's Kyle Rushke. Rushke's a catcher for the Cubs. Heavy hitter, I'm told. 0-2, and Schneeman goes down to second on that ball that got away. Nobody out, bottom of the first. High, ball high. A little bit of control problem early on. For Dan Chizorski. Strike, the big strike. Counts even at 2-2. Chizorski goes to Trinity Lutheran School in Utica. Grounder to second base. Easy play, and the run will score. And a wild throw coming here. Another run. Safe. The umpire calls him safe on a very close play at the plate. Very aggressive base running. The Cubs take a 2-1 lead here.
Way to go. Nice try, James.
Good job, James.
A lot of effort by these young guys. Ground ball to first. It'll be 2 away. Hit right at Marlin first baseman Dan Gorman. Gorman attends Crispin Elementary. Big strike. Jazorski gets his stuff back here. Throwing real heat. Outside. He's throwing the heat now. Strike outside corner, and it was a good pitch, good enough to swing at. Down low. Just foul down the line. Just about 8 inches foul. It would have been a base hit, maybe 2. This is Anthony Strawn, the second baseman. Cubs second baseman at bat. Strawn fouls one off the catcher's mask. Tough little hitter. He's not giving up. Pops it up, out of play, foul. Looks like it's out of play over the fence. But he hangs in there tough. Umpire calls time to retrieve the ball. Anthony Strawn.
Watch the line, Neil.
Down low. Runs the full count. 3-2. 2 away here, bottom of the first. Cubs leading 2-1. He calls it a strike. Low and away, but it caught the outside corner. No argument from Anthony Strawn. We hope no argument. And he's we'll be back shortly. We're back here at the start of the second inning.
Come on, Jake.
2-1 game. Cubs leading as we start to the top of the second. This is Jason Hancock, his first at bat. Hancock is an outfielder with power. Fouls it back, straight back. 2 strikes on him. He's in the hole. Brad Leach, in excellent position for a pitcher. When you get those 2 strikes, obviously you may get that guy swinging. I know I used to swing when I had 2 strikes. Up high. Up high. Inside, 2-2. Hancock attends Montford Elementary. Two strikes in the batter, and Schneemann lets it go to 3-2. We got 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Hancock calls him out. This umpire Zender is anything close to the plate on that 2-strike. Well, I used to coach, and I know before politics there was coaching. I coached Little League baseball in Sterling Heights for 7 years, and well, I tell these guys to be swinging on that for the 2 strikes. 1 away in the first. Chopper to short. He dropped the ball. Dropped the ball in it. Cubs have changed their lineup on the field. Somewhat. This is Chris Katulski, another outfielder. I've been corrected here. This is Keith Swanson. Three strikes. Swanson goes down. Katulski at first base with 2 away. Eric Lefebvre, an outfielder. Takes a nice cut. Looks like a hitter. Inside. 2 strikes on Lefebvre. Lefebvre attends Ebling. He gets him. Well, he took his cuts up there. So at the middle of the first inning, we're 2-1. The Cubs leading. So we're back here in the bottom of the second inning. Cubs leading 2-1. On a beautiful night at Ford Field, a big game for both teams. One ball, one strike to count to outfielder Brian Levenitz. Two strikes on the man. Levenitz lines one out of play into right field. Hit it hard. Young Brian followed right back at me. They got me behind the plate here, at behind the backstop. Would have cut that one on the side of the head. That's right. But he digs in and he's tough in there.
All right, all right. Come on, catch the ball, Gabe.
Jaworski strikes him out for the first out of the inning. Anthony Strawn, second baseman, with one away. Wait. Correction, this is Brad Lewis. Brad Lewis. They changed the batting order. I missed somebody. With one out, Brad Lewis. Jaworski throws smoke here. A little while in the first inning, he calls him out on 3 strikes. Lewis goes down. And this is Dan Gillis, the first baseman for the Cubs. Next, Gillis is is it Roberts Elementary in Shelby. One ball, 2 strikes on the Cub first baseman, Dan Lewis. Just a little bit outside. Jaworski has got the feel of the game here, and he strikes him out. Struck out the side here in the second inning, and he's doing a real good job of getting the ball either over the plate or near the plate. Well, so here we are. We start the third inning in this game. 2-1 lead enjoyed by the Cubs in a very critical game. Fouls that one off the screen. A ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff batter. And the night is beginning to cool somewhat. Oh, he caught him. Schneemann retires him. So 1 away here in third. They play 6 innings here. This is Chris Ketchum. Ketchum, student at St. Lawrence. 2 balls and a strike. Good cut. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A little high and outside. Batter shows a keen eye. Schneemann delivers. He walked him. So Chris Ketchum walks. He's 1 away. Coming to the top of the order. Shortstop, Mike Majeski.
Come on, Mom. Good pitch.
Leach delivers. Strike.
Come on, Mike. Come on.
Schneeman seems to be getting the feel, I should say Leach. Leach is getting the feel of this game also. Throwing good and hard. Count even at 2-2. Protected the plate very well. Questionable whether that would have been a strike or not, but might have felt real bad if it caught the outside corner, and the way the umpire is calling him, he's calling him very liberal. Strike 3 inside. Swung at it. 2 down.
Come on, James.
Jim Hensler. The catcher. Hensler digs in. Outside. Leach a little outside on that one. It's a shot right through the shortstop. Running heads for third at a close play. He's out. Very close play. The runner's out. That ends the inning. Cubs retain the lead 2-1. Ketchum is thrown out at third base.
We're not playing basketball. We had a game last night. We had a game last night and we have one tomorrow. We're 9-0.
So we're back as we start the bottom of the third. Cubs lead 2-1 in a very big game. The Marlins undefeated this year. They've won 9. The Marlins on the field in the black and the blue hats. They've won 9, lost none, and tied 2. Cubs in the red and blue. Cubs are have won 9 also, but they've lost 2 games. So this becomes a very big game in this 5th and 6th grade boys major baseball. And as we wind down the season here, with a game or so left to go. Jaworski hits the outside corner. The Shelby baseball club is very well run by a lot of great coaches. 2 strikes. And President Dave Cady, a lot of good people put a lot of time into this effort, and it shows. The boys seem well disciplined, well coached. And that's really the name of the game. You want to win, of course, but it's how you play the game, I always felt. Because I wanted to win, too. Jaworski hits outside, 2-2. Strike 3. He gets Rob Payton on a full count. This will bring up Matt Sikora. Cub outfielder, attends Trinity Lutheran School. And looks at the first one that's blown away. 2-0 the count. Sakura is ready.
Come on, Dan.
3-0. He got that one in. The Cubs would love to have this man on base. He squares the bunt. Strike 2, 3-2. Sakura shows bunt. Missed. Strike 3. Nice high, hard one. Tough pitch to hit. Jaworski throwing very well, as is Brad Leach of the Cubs. This is Adams Lukowski at the plate. One ball, one strike. Sikorsky looks at a strike on the outside. So that ends the inning. The only scoring in this game came the first. Marlins let off, got a run. The Cubs came back with 2-1. This is Rick Botcher back at Ford Field, top of the 4th inning. Marlins coming to bat, down 1 run. Trailing just 2-1 in a very critical game. This is baseball at its best, really. The young guys out here work real hard since the cold winters of March, from the draft in January or February. This is what it's all about, not the big price guys. Neil Bryan, third baseman, takes the first pitch for a strike. Schneeman has moved to the mound now. Strike 2.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Threw a big curveball. Caught him with the outside curveball, nice swing, but he couldn't connect on it.
Come on, Dan.
This is the pitcher who's pitched a wonderful game for the Marlins, Dan Jaworski. Since inning number 1, it's been pitcher's battle. Schneeman up high with his first pitch. Ball 2. Jaworski's the cleanup hitter for the Marlins. Certainly one to be respected. Three balls, no strikes. He's got to get this one down the pipe. As Jaworski waits, he swings a little late on a fastball. Ball 4. He lost him. One away, and Jaworski at first.
Come on, DJ!
Bringing up Ian Gorman. Plays first base. Ground ball. Shortstop. He drops it. Everybody's safe. So with one away, Gorman hit a chopper to shortstop. Looks like they've moved Schneeman over there. The Cubs change pitchers, switch them every other inning. It's Kind of tough to tell why. I don't have the earphones on here. It looks like he moved Schneeman to short. Jason Hancock with one away in a down 1 run. 2 balls and no strikes to young Mr. Hancock. Strike in the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Lines it swinging late off the right field screen. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Hancock swings and misses. 2 away. Two down. 2 men on base. Top of the 4th. 2-1 game. Cubs lead. Inside. Swinging is Chris Kotulski. He evens the count at 1-1. The umpire is Dan Zender. As I mentioned earlier, a 10th grader from Utica High. He's here with got his girlfriend to the game. She's just sitting over there watching. Outside low. Outside low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 men on. Pops it up. Right fielder. It's a fair ball. It dropped just inside the foul line. Kotulski heading for third base. His 2 Marlin runs score. Dropped just inside right field. Right inside that foul line. So the Marlins score 2 here with 2 down. In the 4th, they take the lead, 3-2 over the Cubs. This is Keith Swanson. Ball on a strike to young Mr. Swanson. Swanson plays second base for the Marlins. Tens Chrisman.
Swing the bat, buddy.
Call third strike. Swanson takes that one on the outside of the corner. And we'll be back in a minute. Okay, thanks.
Hustle, guys, hustle. Stop everything, Jason. Don't hit the ball.
So here we are in the bottom of the 4th. New ball game. Marlins leading 3-2. Przorski settled down and is throwing smoke. He'll be facing the top of the order for the Cubs. Brad Leach leads it off. He and Tom Schneeman have been rotating between short and pitcher. keeping me on my toes. I have no spotter here. So Leach swings so hard. 2 strikes on him. Pops one towards first. An easy out. First baseman Dan Gorman. One away for the Cubs. Mr. Schneeman. Schneeman is will be attending Epler Junior High next year. Fly ball in the center field. They're back on it, and they can't get it. It's dropped for 2 bases at least. Schneeman's going to stand with 2. A wise move. Long fly ball. Little mix-up on who was going to take that one, I think. So the Cubs make their effort, make a move here. With 1 away, Tommy Schneeman at second base. Catcher Kyle Rushke at the plate. A ball and a strike to Rushke. He went for that inside pitch. So he's got 2 strikes. 2 strikes, 1 ball. Chopper could be trouble. He runs him back. He has out at first. And smart move by the Marlins shortstop. He chased the base runner back, then made his throw to first.
Hey, let's go.
That's Mike Majeski, the shortstop. Thinking ball player. This is Jeff Stoll. 2 down. Schneeman on second. Up high, ball 1. Fouls it away. Stoll fouls that one back. He'll be running with 2 out inside. 2 strikes on the center fielder. Chesky delivers down low. 2-2. Got to protect the plate. With 2 out, down 1 run. He fouls it back. Man from 24 Mile Road caught that one. Almost caught that one. So 2-2 the count to Stoll. He's got him on. Ended that potential rally here in the 4th. Marlins still lead 3-2. Little League Baseball has changed substantially since since my youth. When I went out I grew up on the East Coast in Massachusetts, and we had 4 Little League teams in a city of 160,000, 180,000 I think it was then. So you tried out, and there was 15 on each team, you know, and it was tough. You know, you had to be Ted Williams or someone to make it. Needless to say, I didn't make it that year, and you got the tryouts. Where basically they threw you 2 pitches and you had to nail both of them, and they hit you a couple of fly balls and you had to catch both of them, and if you didn't, you weren't even considered for the second tier. But baseball's a great game. It's still considered the national pastime, even with the Red Wings in the playoffs. And you've got to love the Red Wings. Still love the game. A little disappointed over the strike and what's happened in the last few years in baseball. A little bit agreed by the managers and the owners. But the game itself hasn't changed that much. And what we're looking at today is is baseball, I'd say, at its best. These are guys in 5th and 6th grade. When I was in the 6th grade, I made the grade school team, Abbott Elementary in Worcester, Massachusetts, as an outfielder, and loved it. And played every year until my legs went. Loved the game. 3-2 Marlins lead here as we continue on. Top of the 5th inning. Marlins lead at 3-2 in this, as I said before, a crucial game. This inning, it's Leach back on the mound for the Cubs. Eric Lefebvre, a free swinger. Low and away, and he went for it. He likes to swing the bat, and you gotta like that. Oh, no, don't swing at that. 1-1. Lefebvre went out swinging his first time. Two balls, 1 strike. Outside pitch. I think that was a ball, too. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefebvre comes to play. 3-2. Leach delivers high and inside, and somehow Lefebvre got his bat on the ball and lined it foul. I think it would have been ball 4. Leach call strike. With the 2 strikes on you, you've got to protect that plate. This is Schneeman pitching now.
Hit the ball. Hit the ball.
It's Brian Young, outfielder. 2 strikes on Young. Inside. A ball and 2 strikes. Down low. Brian Young shows a good eye. 2-2.
Up to the plate, Brian.
Leach catches him on the inside pitch. Strike 3. 2 down for the Marlins in the top of the 5th. Brings up Chris Ketchum. Ketchum, left-handed batter. He looks like he wants to hit that ball. Doesn't agree with the umpire's call. One ball and 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Schneeman delivers. Call strike. 2-2. Strike 3. Young Mr. Schneeman unhappy with that call. Young Mr. Ketchum unhappy with that call, I should say. So the game remains 3-2 in this battle at Ford Field. Back the other way. Three-two lead. Marlins held the lead for the last 2 innings. Cubs, Marlins scored about the first inning, took a 1-0 lead. Cubs came back with 2 in the bottom of the first and haven't scored since. Marlins last inning when they had 3-2. Well, 2 innings ago. Last inning they left the runner stranded at second, Schneemann. Base hit. Whoa. This is an error. Tough angle for me, for the catcher in front of me. It's hit right at the between short and bag. So the Cubs have the leadoff man aboard. This is Leverance. Runner goes to second base. A potential tying run. Second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Time running out in the Cubs. One more inning after this. Umpire Zender calls strike 3 on young Leverance. So we have 1 away. Cubs have a runner at second base, and this is Brad Lewis. Lewis plays third base. The runner's going to third on a ball that got away from the catcher. He overthrew it, but there's a backup. Nice play by the shortstop. He went over to back up the ball that got away from the catcher, or the tying run would have scored. Heads up ball. Lewis is the third baseman, as I say. He goes to Wiley. 2 strikes on Brad Lewis. Low and away, and there's going to be a play at the plate. It's going to be close. He's out. You can't fault the runner on that one. The ball hit the backstop and bounced out. The catcher was right on top of it, and the pitcher Jaworski was right on top of it, and took the throw. Nice throw, and he was out. Heads up ball. Both teams. Strike 3. Three-two. Marlins still lead it.
Take your time, Mike.
Top of the 6th, last inning back here in this big game. Marlins lead at 3-2. Marlins at the batting. Their shortstop, Mike Majlewski, grounds 1 foul past third base.
Wake up that third base coach.
Scatters the coaches and a few other people down there.
You wake coach. Get ready.
Outside pitch, and he went for it. 2 strikes.
Come on, Rabbit.
Inside. Schneeman is back on the mound for the Cubs. Little blooper in the right field. Could be trouble. He caught it. Nice catch. Excellent catch by the right fielder. The Cubs have got a hold in this inning. If they can hold them down to this 3-2 lead, they got a shot in the bottom of the 6th. But if they allow Marlins to score a couple of runs here, it's going to be real tough. Base hit. Up the middle. Jim Hensler, the catcher, goes to Montfort Elementary, one of the Montfort Knights. Singles right up the middle. So we got 1 away, 1 man on. And Neil Bryan, heavy hitting third baseman from Trinity Lutheran School in Utica. Two balls, no strikes. Tom Schneeman back on the mound. Outside, he went for that. I think that would have been a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Neil Bryan digs in. It was a high inside, 2-2. Ball gets by Cub catcher Ken Rushke, and runner Hensler advances to second base. In scoring position now. Ball almost. Hensler's ready to run. They want to build on that 3-2 lead. Strike 3. Bryan takes it on the outside corner. 2 away. The Marlins have their man at second base. Falls into the hands of pitcher Dan Jaworski, who's pitched a really great game tonight, to bring him in. He fouls it back. 1 strike. Ground ball, fair, off the third baseman. Tough play. Safe at third. Very tough play. Cub third baseman, Brad Lewis, made an excellent play to knock the ball down and have the presence of mind to pick it up and make the, caught that big runner. Almost had him. And that cloud of dust may have obscured the play. Really difficult to say. And I wouldn't question the umpire, though. This is Dan Gorman. Gorman, chopper, gets through, and the insurance run, a 4-2 lead, and the ball is being held out there by the Cubs. Gorman singles to center field to increase the lead. And this is Hancock. Time is called by Cub manager Glenn Leach. Coaches for the Cubs are Phil Schneeman and Mark Payton. The Marlins are managed by Pat Hensler. Chris Young is one of their coaches. Marlins, as I said earlier, they've won 9, lost 1, and tied 2. This year, the Cubs have won 9 and lost 2. So this is the game. You know, it looks like the game that'll decide the championship. The Cubs have got to win this one. And they've got to hold the Marlins off here in the last inning and come back and get a few of their own. Manager Glenn Leach back to the trying to calm down his excellent pitcher. Having a little bit of problem here in this inning. Both pitchers have pitched well. Schneemann too when he's pitched for the Cubs. Schneemann and Leach have pitched alternately. Hancock lines one back. Pitcher makes a great stop. That was headed for center field. The inning retired. Marlins score a run. 4-2 lead. Cubs' last chance. So here we are, last inning, bottom of the 6th, last shot for the Cubs. They've got three outs. And the Marlins changed pitchers. Their shortstop, Mike Majerski, is taking over the pitching. As you can see, he's a left-hander, which will be a different slant for the Cubs, who have been facing Jaworski, the right-hander. Excellent pitching by both teams. And it's a 4-2 game. Marlins lead. This is Rick Botcher, one of your township trustees, out here doing this play-by-play himself. I wish there was someone else because it's not easy doing it yourself. So here we are. Outside pitch. Strike, he called it. This is Dan Gillis, the first baseman. One ball and 2 strikes. Mr. Gillis has got to protect that plate. He's got to get on base. Outside again, 2-2. Oh, the outside corner. Strike 3. Mike Majerski gets him. One away. This is Rob Payton, the batter. Left fielder. He'll be at Mallow Junior High next year. Majerski outside with ball 1. Two balls and a strike. The Cubs need a base runner desperately here. Need several. Payton takes the strike. 2 balls and a strike. To Rob Payton. 2 strikes. Taking his cuts up there. He's not going to be denied. Majerski pitches from a stretch. Ball 3. 3-2. High and outside. Met. Rob Payton digs in. Inside. He takes his base, and they got that. They got their first runner in this last inning. Payton on base. First base. Is Matt Sakura.
Don't be looking, Mike.
This is the bottom of the order for the Cubs. Adam Zolkowski on deck. Shows the bunt. A ball and 2 strikes.
Come on, buddy, blow it past him, Mo.
The ball running down towards the first baseline. Umpire calls time as Mr. Payton ties his spike at first base. Strike 3. Matt Sikora took his cuts. Wouldn't be denied that. It's 2 down in the last inning. Marlins lead 4-2. Cubs batting. Their last chance, their last out. Ball way outside. Adam Zilkowski. Zilkowski looking to get on and keep this alive. The Cub strike 1. 1-1. Cub leadoff man and some pretty heavy hitters are just waiting to get in. He chops one in front of the plate. Umpire calls it a foul. Would have been a tough play. Definitely a tough play. He's got 2 strikes on him. Young Adam Zilkowski does. Mo Majowski. Strike 3. That ends the game. Marlins win 4-2. Improve their record now to 10 wins, no losses and 2 ties. The Cubs lose. Their record goes to 9 wins and 3 losses. And they shake hands after the game. That's the way it should be. So this is Rick Botcher signing off. And I just mentioned here there's a big tournament coming up, a Little League tournament. I was told before this game on July the 12th to the 19th. July 12th to the 19th, and we may be covering that. So good luck to both teams. They both played very well, and so did their coaches who coached them. That's it till the next game. Marlins 4-2.